Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be talking about the Ferdinand, which is of course referred to sometimes by, players as the Ferdi. It's a tier 8 German tank destroyer. I think everyone knows it, especially if you're into tanks. You definitely know it because of its, historic symbolism, I guess, because it really did participate in the Second World War, of course. Especially in the Battle of Kursk, blah blah blah. But this is of course not a history channel, so we're going to be talking about this tank in game, and I feel like this tank is just completely useless nowadays. With all those tier 7 and 8 tanks which have like pretty decent penetration, this tank's armor is just not that useful, and the mobility on this thing is not great. The only thing going for it is the very nice gun, but you have the Jagdpanther 2, which is pretty much a Ferdinand but faster. So like the point of this tank is not really there, and you can also skip this tank more or less. You can just go the Jagdpanther 2 route, and you can drop down to the Ferdinand again, or you can skip this tank altogether, and that's completely possible. So I understand why this tank is not as popular as it used to be. This tank gives me Jagdpanzer E100 vibes, but only at tier 8, with, less armor and, of course, a little bit worse of a gun. That's what it feels like, more or less. And if you do decide to go this route, which are usually, more or less newer players that decide to do this, you can still do it. Sometimes it will block shells, but just remember it has like a Tiger Porsche hull, so it's not that effective in tier 8. Especially if you get to tanks against, tier 9, you're not going to be really holding anything at all. Of course, the best preferred way to play this tank is, I definitely say, second line or third line, which is probably the safest bet. Against tier 9s, you really want to stay on the third line, just behind everyone else. But if you're against tier 7s, I feel like it can be safe enough to play first line. So it really depends as well. Sometimes you can just play first line if you know some tanks are just not going to be able to pen you. But most of the time, I'd also recommend you to sit behind your heavies, or maybe even behind your mediums, and then peek out when necessary. Because, most of the time, again, your armor really will not hold. Overall, if you have the free XP, just try and skip this thing, because trying to play this tank in stock form as well is just going to be absolutely agonizing. So overall, I don't really think this tank is that great. I'd give it like something like a 4 out of 10, but I'm interested what you guys think about the Ferdi in the comment section below. And with that, Happy is out, and I'll definitely see you guys next time. Bye-bye.